Well, welcome to EDFN 338, Foundations of American Education. It's really a course that just will take a 10,000-foot look at what goes on in education. Most of the topics we cover won't be covered again. So this is where you get to have a look at it. So here's the official course description. Survey of goals, history and organization, and philosophy of pre-K to 12th grade American education with an emphasis on teaching as a profession, contemporary issues, practices, legal and ethical responsibilities, and attributes of effective teachers. And that's an oversimplified look at it. Okay. So here are the things here, points of interest. Let me just introduce it with that. Here is the things for each week. First of all, each unit has 3 parts. They'll be due every week. Okay? Complete the lecture online and submit the course in the corresponding Dropbox in D2L. And respond to any discussion questions at the bottom of the page. Not all have them. I'll show you that. And import or paste clips into your note lines as directed in the lecture. And I tell you exactly where and how to do that. Complete online projects. Complete an assigned Google slide with an instruction video on the second or sometimes it's the third slide. And complete the 30-question quiz for each week. You get 40 minutes to do this with the lockdown browser. So there it is in the nutshell. Okay. And so let me start you at, first of all, let's look at the syllabus. Maybe I can do a little more here. This is the best way to contact me or a text message. Make sure you identify yourself if you text me. And here's the book which I sent you. This is big. The classroom policy will be, they're due on Sunday nights at 11 o'clock. Let me just put that on there so that we don't get that confused. At 11. This would be 11 like this, I think. PM. All right. Okay. If they are late, I will accept them the following week for half credit, but I'll not accept them after that. And the reason for that is I've had a lot of trouble with people getting way behind, and then at the end of the course suddenly want to make these all up. Okay, so that's what that is. So don't miss that. I'm going to give you this here like this. Okay. And then here's what it is. There'll be this pre-course activity I'll show you for 30 points this week. And then each of the lecture outlines are worth 10 for 130. Let me just shut here so it quits doing that. Each of them are worth 10, and each of the projects each week will be worth 10 for 130, and then 30 points for each chapter test. The final test is worth 30, and then there's one other project that you do for 20, for a total of 730 points. And here's the breakdown, 94 and 86, and I got a little wiggle room on there. It depends your diligence in turning stuff in. And then a 78, and you know in this course, in the College of Education, you have to have at least a C. So you got to get at least to a 78. Okay. And this will be part of the pre-course. So let's look at the syllabus together. Got some drop dates here. Nothing, I pretty much showed you all this. There's one thing I would like to show you here, and that is how this is going to work week by week. Teaching in a Changing World, Chapter 2, the early history of education in a changing world. Historical perspectives, so you get 2 on kind of the history. These are a little tougher, I think, not quite as fun. Philosophy reflections in the essence, and then building an educational philosophy. And I'll actually ask you to do that as your project for Chapter 5. And then Chapter 6, place of the school and society, diversity in society, and 8, students and their families. So that's the foundations. And then organizing and paying for education is very poorly done, because you really need a whole course on that. Same with legal perspectives. When I was in grad school, I took entire courses on each of those topics. So that's why I say it's survey. It's a flyover. It's a look at it from 10,000 feet up. And then the last part is standards and assessments, a little bit more about teaching. The nice thing about these things here is you're going to see some more of this in your methods classes. I just want to give you vocabulary and an intro to it. Standards, assessment, accountability. Chapter 12, designing programs for learners, the curriculum, and then becoming a high-quality teacher, the last one. So that's the flyover of this. Okay? And so here is the different objectives for each chapter for it. And that's that. So let's move on here. Here's the pre-course stuff. There's 4 things you have to do to get your 30 points. First, watch this intro video and do what it tells you to do in here. And then here is the first one. The edit button for this is always here. And you don't get into this till I've released it. And that is far they come. But it looks like this. And I've got you a template here. This is how I want you to do it. But I'm really kind of stinky about this picture being a recent selfie. Not one with you and your family, not one with you and your kids, not one from high school that you snap a selfie, because part of this is I want you to know how to do that. Snap it either on your phone or on your computer and get it here on the slide. And each one of them has a thing. You take me out and put yourself in. Okay, so here's the edit button. When you hit that, if I've given you permission, it'll let you edit it. Otherwise, you only see it. You won't be able to edit till I've added you here under share. Then everybody's got their name on a slide, and in that, here you fill this top part out, here's the middle part, and then you can just put your pictures down here. Like here, where you're from, what your major is, and then where you went to high school, because for a lot of us, that's not always the same. For example, in Sioux Falls, if you're from Sioux Falls, you've got about a choice of 5 or 6 different high schools you could be from. If you're from, Madison, that's a lot less choices. But you still put the name of the high school, and then the favorite job you've ever had, part-time or full-time. And my favorite was driving a milk truck. When I put myself through college, going to the farms, picking up the milk, bring it to a plant so it could be processed, so the kids could have a cup of milk with their lunch every day. And then here you put again a little story that helps us get to know you better. And you have to have at least one link in here. You see I've got a bunch, and the reason for that is so that you learn how to do that. Okay, and then these pictures here just tell your story. And how do you bring an image in here? For example, if I wanted it here, I come up here under Insert, an image, and then it gives you these choices. You can upload it, you can take it here, or you can upload it from your computer, or from your drive, or your photos, or a link online. I'll talk more about that later, but you'll do that. And if you can't figure it out, Google it. Dr. Google will tell you how to do that. So that'll be the first thing here. And then here, there's a pretest. This one's a little tougher. You only get 30 questions for this, but it's a kind of flyover here. And then the last thing, the fourth thing, is you watch this movie on Waiting for Superman. You click on here, it gives you this link, and I've had some trouble with it, but for the most part, it's worked. Yeah. And then I have these questions. You fill this out right here on here and tell it submit. And then I'll do that. Okay. And don't tell me this is free. So don't say you can't afford it, or I'm pretty sure it's going to work. So you don't mark anything there. Leave that. All right. So that, if you do those 4 things, then you'll get the points for this pre. Then we go to each week. Here are the 3 things. The chapter lecture outline here. Here's the lecture. Here's the outline. You turn this in. And here's the project. It'll be linked here. And I'll show you that in a second. Here are the clips. How to insert them in this. And I've got this on the front for you. Right here on how to do lectures. Okay, and let me just give you a real quick look at that. That you'll click on this, and it'll come up. It's a Google sheet from that in mine stuff. And now when it gets up like this, you will download it. Okay, and once you download it, it will look just like a Word document. Okay. Like this. And now what you'll do with that is from here, I'm going to get this out of here. You will play my lecture, and I tell you that each one, it's 48 minutes long. I tell you where the pages are because you'll need your book. And I play this, and it's on a YouTube, so it works. And you'll get me. Little music.
Well, let's look at chapter 1.
And each as I go through the lecture, I will tell you exactly
may require a 3.0.
what's going
Here's
on.
number 1.
So here, I'm telling you, number 1, here you have to tell.
Question. And so you've got this. So in here, I'm going to ask you, so what is the requirement at DSU to be involved in the College of Education?
Okay, and so you come back to your sheet, and it's right here. And so you can put it out here, or you can move it down, or whatever. But you respond here, and then you would turn it red. Anything, so your inputs, you turn red, so I can quickly find them. Okay, and so you have to look this one up. It's not in the book or anything. You have to find that. What is the GPA requirement to be in the College of Ed at DSU? You have to look that up. So throughout the whole thing, each week you'll be doing that. I will tell you, and I'll be numbering like this. And you can number them if you want. That might be helpful. But I will tell you, and again, I'll emphasize that on how to do this. And then when you're all done, you'll come to the D2L, and you'll go into the Dropbox, and you'll submit it under Chapter 1 right here, this note submission. Okay, now this I put in here for you. If you miss and it closes at 11 o'clock and you've missed that, you submit it here in the late work. Don't send it to me in email or anything like that because I can't keep track of. I have so many students. So put it in the late box. And here are the quizzes. Also, this is the 2 things we're going to do with the D2L. We're going to submit our lecture note outlines. Here we're going to submit these, and we're going to take the quizzes. And here is how it is here. You need the lockdown browser, and you're going to be able to check your grades. So those are the only 3 things we'll do in D2L. And I'll try and keep those up to date as quick as possible. After Tuesday is usually my day to do that. Okay. Let me give you one more thing here, I think, and that is, let me show you. These are the clips that you'll insert in the lecture. I will say, to add this right here. And again, I won't give you full credit unless you've added those. And so you click on that like that. It'll come like this, and you'll download that. Again, it'll come down here. All right, and then in this here, I will just insert it wherever I'm told to insert it. Say, for example, I'm supposed to insert it here. I move this down a little bit. I say insert, and it is an image. So I'm going to go a picture, and I come back to where I download. Make sure you know what that is. And it'll come in there. And you can resize it a little. And there's some, if there's other things to do, but right there you have that. Okay, let's see. What else do you need to know? And here's just the topical outline. I put this just so you can kind of see the order of what the chapter's laid out. I don't know if you need that, but I put that in there. Oh, I was going to show you a project, what the projects look like. And I don't have those quite ready yet, but they will be by the time you get to them. And so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to say, let's look at chapter 1. This one ain't a very good one. Let me try a different one. Let's say 3. And everybody gets a topic to respond to. So when you open the link, it'll come like this. And here's the edit button. Here's the video on how to do it. And here's the everybody getting a different one. There is the topics. And you'll get a blank slide like that. And we come back to here when you're ready to do it. Looks like this. Okay, and you're in. And again, that's only if I have you and I've shared this with you. Now, like some of this gets a little messed up, and let me tell you here, that's not how mine is supposed to look. But what happened, somebody wanted to change the background, and instead of background, they did theme. And then it messes everybody's up. So you only want to do background if you want to change your slide and not everybody's. Okay, so just be aware of that. And if you do that, quickly correct it if you would. Okay, so you'll see that each week here on the project. And I shouldn't say each week because there's a few that aren't. For example, 11 has something else, and 5 has something else. So 11 and 5 don't have slides. All the rest are slides. And that's where you'll access them each week. Here's 2. Lecture and outline. This one's 58 minutes. Here's the topical outline. Now, this one doesn't have any thing to put in there. Here's 3. Has one, just this one clip. But again, I'm not going to give you credit unless you've inserted this into your notes because I want you to see this and want to make sure you have it. Here's some stuff here. And in the lecture, I tell you exactly what to do with that. Okay. And they all have some comments at the bottom. If there's comments for that one, then in the lecture, I'll tell you exactly when to do this. Okay. All right, there you have it. So now, the next thing is, I have 5 questions for you from right here in the home screen that we want to do the Google form. And again, I'm not going to give you credit for this unless you've responded to this. Your last name, your first name, and then these 3 questions, I'm sorry. The first question is, what color do you turn the text that you enter, called your inputs, into the lecture outlines? That goes there. Second one, how many parts are there to the lesson each week? How many parts for each week do you have to complete? That goes there. And this one is, how many points is the whole entire course work? If you got all the points, how many would you get? Okay, so now you've answered these 3, and you will have completed this one here of watching the intro video. You don't get the points unless you do that. Okay. There you have it. EDFN, Foundation of American Ed, 338. All due Sunday nights at 11.